What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're having issues again with the Subaru. It was running fine, but this morning when I just got to work, I literally had just gotten there, it started having issues with not getting into boost. At first I thought it'd be the turbo rebuild. I thought I did something wrong. Then I thought no, everything was fine yesterday and this morning on the way to work, and so I don't get why it would be the rebuild. Then I kind of got thinking about it. I thought maybe something got stuck on the turbines, and since little resistance will hold the turbines, I thought maybe it could be that. After a while I started thinking about it and I said, wait, I never plugged in the O2 scanner. I never got a check engine light on the dash, and so it never really hit me. But after a while I thought about it and I said, why don't I just plug in the O2 scanner? So when I got the chance, I plugged in the O2 scanner, and it turns out that we are having an O2 sensor heater, but I believe that has to do with the secondary O2 sensor that is not plugged in. We're having another code for something else I can't really think of off the top of my head. Wasn't really all that important. And then we were having a throttle position sensor performance signal. I don't know what that is, but a throttle position sensor, I know what that is. So I was quick to look up to see what the issues were or what the symptoms were of a bad throttle position sensor on these cars. And it kind of makes sense. Yesterday it was sputtering. I thought maybe maybe spark plugs. I picked up the spark plugs. We're gonna do these anyways. I did not do them when I dropped the engine in the car, so that's gonna be interesting to do. But we are going to check the throttle position sensor to see if it's that. We might have a cut wire. Something might have just gotten hot and the throttle position sensor is not getting the signal it's supposed to. Also, the taillights still don't work. I bought new bulbs, I threw them in there and they did not work. They did not fix anything. Pulled the fuse, checked the fuse and also the fuse box to see if maybe we weren't getting power through one or the other, and it wasn't that. I went to the actual socket. The socket was good. We got power from one or the other, but still the lights have not turned on, so I'm not really sure what to go to next. I really think that it's the parking switch here behind the steering wheel, but I'm not really sure. If I can't figure it out, I'm just gonna make that parking switch to signal a hardwired to the actual taillights, because I want to use the car at night and I can't do that if I don't have taillights. So I unmounted the intercooler and the wastegate. We got the clip off. The harness looks fine. It looks like the harness should be fine, no cuts in there. We might still pull the clips back and look at the harness a little bit better, but it looks good to me. Next thing to do would be to put the key in the ignition, turn it on, basically on run, and to test each connector to see what is what. I think I should still pull the clip off, put all the connectors on each one it's supposed to go, and then loosen the throttle position sensor and see what exactly we're reading. I think that'd be our best bet to see if it's good or not. We got 5 volts from the actual harness, so we will now take the clips off, put it in the actual sensor and see what the actual sensor is reading back. Okay, so I decided to put everything back together. I couldn't really come up with a solution, and so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna put everything back together and just go buy a sensor, because this one is reading 60. I'm not sure what stock it's supposed to read, but it's reading 0.60 volts, and I've been reading online and they're between 0.55 and 0.45, so I'm not really sure why it's reading 0.60, but still a little bit high. I plugged in my O2 scanner and it says 0%, but still when I come over here to the throttle position sensor and I plug in my multimeter, we are getting up to 0.72 volts, so it is staying open. One thing I did notice was the throttle cable was leaving the throttle body open just a little bit. That might actually be causing the issue for why the ECU thinks that the throttle position sensor is reading a little bit too much, because it is being stuck open. And as soon as I let go of the throttle, that's where it stays. And then sometimes when I probably slam the throttle back, it closes more and then it kind of opens. So the ECU is probably thinking that the sensor is bad because it sees a lot of play, but in all honesty, the cable probably just has a little too much tension. I just checked the scanner and the throttle position code went away, which is weird, but let's go give it a shot. We still got to fix the dash lights. I have no idea what's up with that, and the tail lights. Still are not getting into boost. What's up guys, we out here day 2. Today it's kind of windy. So today I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to disconnect the boost controller solenoid, and I'm just gonna completely disconnect that, and that should basically overboost the system, since well, not overboost, the wastegate is set to 8 psi, so it just basically should open the wastegate at 8 psi, and the wastegate will not be controlling the boost. So So if that works, it's a boost controller issue. If that doesn't work, then it is probably a turbo issue. Okay, so that idea didn't work. Next thing I'm gonna do, I suspect that it's the turbo. So I'm going to start pulling off the downpipe and maybe the intake. I really want to say it's gonna be the turbo. So I ended up taking apart the whole car. We got the turbo out. Look what we found. This little piece of metal was stuck in the turbo. The propeller would get stuck on this. It spins freely now, so we're gonna throw everything back together. We should be fine. But damn, I thought there was something stuck. I swore. I knew it had to be something getting stuck in the turbo. We cleaned the turbo out. This spins freely now. And we got another couple of chunks coming out of the turbo. I took the whole exhaust housing off just to clean and make sure that there was nothing in there left. So when I did slap it back on, there was nothing in here anymore. Now the only problem that I'm having is the studs are stuck on the exhaust housing and they are no good anymore. This is the only good one, and this one's stripped, this one broke. So I definitely gotta get these two studs off, but they're not coming off at all. I tried to loosen them. We sprayed PB Blaster on them. We tried to lock them with 2 nuts, but they are not coming off. So I think I'm going to try to heat this up, pull it off. If that doesn't work, I'm just gonna drill them out. It seems like the cap in the downpipe is going out, and that is why we keep getting stuff inside the turbo. It's either the cat or the gasket. This is really thin metal, and the gasket is all chewed up. The material looks the same as the gasket, but for some reason it somehow ended up inside the turbo. So we kind of doubt it's the gasket. Well, after a lot of hard work, this is as far as I got. I got 1 bolt. And yeah, I cut that off. It was probably a bad idea because now I can't get it off at all. I think I'm going to try to drill it again. The drill bits I had were really cheap. I'm not gonna say from where, but they were really cheap, and they broke inside of the holes. Basically, I want to leave them like this so I can just throw a bolt and a nut through it, and whichever ones I can't do that, then I might just throw a bolt and anti-seize. I'm gonna go pick up a set of drill bits. Hopefully they are better than what I have to drill that out. We're out here, day 3. I picked up some bits last night, so we have bits for drilling out this other stud. If this doesn't come out, I'm gonna have to pick up another turbo. I'm really not leaning towards that. I really think that we can get this bit out, this stud out, by drilling it, so I'm gonna give that a shot. But let's get started. It's gonna take a while. I hope I don't break any bits this time. I broke 2 of the other ones. I picked up some better bits though, so let's give this a shot. If not, I'm just gonna pick up another turbo. I already see one on the marketplace. I don't want to take too long on this. I kind of want to put this thing back together today. I should be able to. I think it was the gasket that was bad, so I think it was just chunks of gasket because the gasket was leaking. So I think it might have been chunks of gasket that got into the turbo. So let's try to drill this stud out. If not, we're gonna go pick up another turbo and throw that together, throw the car together, and call it a day. After like many broken bits, this is what I decided to do. So this one would not come off, so I just I drilled through it. I got a hole through it, and I thought if I get a pilot hole, the next holes would be easier, but they were not. So I just left it like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find bolts that fit here, and I'm just gonna use anti-seize to kind of thread them in. The threads shouldn't be too bad here to put bolts in them, and if not, I'm gonna go pick up a turbo anyways. So I'm just gonna need the hot side. I want this turbo because I did rebuild it and it is in good condition. Literally no play at all. I just rebuilt it, but I do need the hot side because if I can't use these threads, I will need this bolt, and this bolt. This bottom one for sure, I will not be able to put a bolt through. Since I can't use this one, I have to use this one. I only have 3 points of clamping, and then these 2 would be loose, and then I'd have an exhaust leak probably somewhere around here. So I'm just gonna leave this one, and I'm probably gonna try to put a bolt through here, and probably another bolt through here with the nut on the other side. Bro, we got the spotlights out. I need a shop, like definitely working on it, but I need a shop. Okay, so I was supposed to pick up a turbo, but the dude flaked on me last minute. I showed up and he did not answer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tap this thread so I can fix this thread, and I will throw a stud in there. I bought brand new studs and some anti-seize, so I'm going to throw anti-seize in there. This is the high temp copper formula, so it's supposed to stand 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. That should be enough to not lock up the studs on this. I got a bunch of studs and some bolts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 stud down here. This one's going to hold the bottom. Since I don't have anything for here, I'm just going to leave it, but I mean there's nothing over here, so really I think it should be fine. I'm gonna fix this thread. We're going to put a bolt and a nut on each one of these 3. I drilled this one out so it is oversized, and that should hold. I'm thinking about upgrading the turbo anyways later, so if the gasket leaks, it's gonna be around that time that probably I should upgrade the turbo anyways. Bro, it's like 10:30. but I finally got the whole thing back together. I hope I tightened everything, because I just kind of went over and more or less looked at what I had on the ground, and everything should be put on now. I think the next thing I have to do at this point would be prime the turbo, and I think I'm ready for a good start. I still have not done the plugs, so I probably should do that as well, but I'll probably do that another day. I have no idea how to get them out, honestly, so I'm gonna have to take that challenge another day. It's late, I don't really want to get into that. I kind of just want to get the turbo primed and drive the car, see if it works now. I cleaned out the up pipe and I think I got everything out of there. I just want to make sure, see if the car is gonna run fine, and we'll call it a night. Still need to figure out the dash lights and the tail lights. I don't know what that's gonna be. I have this switch up here, but it doesn't do anything. I heard that maybe that might be switched back, but I don't know. That's kind of weird. Boost again. Damn, bro, it's freaking late. It's 11:30 at night and I just got done with this thing. I do smell coolant. I'm going to check some coolant hoses. Temperatures look decent, 206 degrees. We just got back from running, so 206 degrees I don't think it's too bad, but I'm going to check the coolant hoses. Like I said, I do smell a small leak. The car runs now. It runs fine. I really want to say it was that gasket that got chewed up and got into our turbo. It was leaking from the start. I was gonna change it eventually and I didn't really get to it. I said screw it, don't really want to mess with it right now, so I'm not gonna mess with it. And it turns out that that's probably what was causing our issue. Seems like we got it fixed. It runs fine now. It was having a bit of misfires. The PVC valve was disconnected, so I plugged that back in. It just kind of slipped off, so I plugged that back in and it seems like it's working fine. But other than that, it's been a crazy 3-4 days just getting to the bottom of this problem. We still got to figure out why I don't have a dash and why I don't have taillights, so that's gonna be a whole nother video. If you guys made it to the end, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. This is probably gonna be a pretty long vlog, so if you guys made it to the end, I really appreciate it. I'm freaking beat. This car really, I'm learning so much with this thing. It's my first boosted car, my first Subaru, so I mean I'm learning so much with this thing, and I hate it. I hate how much I have to take this thing apart, but also I am putting in a lot of effort now and I am learning a lot. If you guys like the video, go down and hit that like button for me. Go down and comment. I'm still trying to decide a color for this car. Go down and comment, let me know what color you guys think I should paint or wrap this car. Hit that subscribe button for me, it really helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.